Good evening. I am Janie Deadweiler, the founder and CEO of Angels in Distress Incorporated, Transition from Domestic Violence, and the CEO of Victory Coaching, Victorious Intervention, Carefully Training on Restoring Yourself, Yes. Thank you for joining, Jod. Tonight, I have been fighting with this all day. Thanks for joining, Jacarbiella. All day, so I can't rest, so that means I really need to say something about it. But this has arrested my spirit, and it's been about the Jezebel Spirit. Thanks for joining, John. And excuse me. And you know, God has a sense of humor, because when He gave it to me, I thought, okay, Jezebel Spirit, sit down. Thank you for inviting someone. And he brought me back to Matumbo. No, not in my house. So thank you for joining, called. So tonight I want to talk about that Jezebel Spirit trying to reside in your house and trying to reside in your presence and trying to throw you off. Because for domestic abuse and domestic violence, that is the spirit that it operates from under. The Jezebel Spirit, which is manipulation, lies, deceit, and control. That is the spirit that abuse operates from under. And when a person is in an abusive relationship, usually what happens is there is a communication that comes from the abuser to the victim that they are inferior to the abuser. And the reality of it is really the other way around. The abuser is inferior to the victim. So we have to understand that in an abusive relationship, when you have someone talking to you and talking down to you, all of these things are there. Manipulation, deceit, lies, and of course, control. So we have to get to a place to really hear when these things are operating. And you can find out early. You don't have to wait. I mean, if you're paying attention and in tune, you can hear and see these things happen early in the relationship. And that's why it's so important to pay attention. So tonight I just want to talk to you about this Jezebel Spirit and how it can affect you and affect your spirit. Because that's what it's going after, to affect your spirit. I want to share a story with you, something that happened to me years ago, and I didn't understand why the person said what they said to me. We were in a corporate prayer, and I was always requested to join them in corporate prayer. And we saw manifestations from those prayers that we were praying for a particular person. But I was told one night, and it's amazing, I was told one night that God was not hearing my prayers because I wasn't praying in a prayer language. And it really stung me. It really stung me because I thought, I have really been praying sincerely and earnestly from my heart. And you mean to tell me God is not hearing my prayer as I stand alongside you guys? He's not hearing my prayer because it's not in a prayer language. And that is so far from the truth. Because when we think about people praying, you know, generally people pray in their native language. And that bothered me for a very long time. And for my spirit and my spiritual growth, it really hampered my spiritual growth because I thought I wasn't good enough to pray a prayer. I thought I wasn't good enough to talk to God. That's just how it damaged me. And when He gave me Angels in Distress told me over and over again, whatever you do, don't damage the ministry. Whatever you do, don't damage the ministry, because we're responsible for the people who we come in contact with, particularly if they have a broken spirit and we have the opportunity to minister to them. So I went through that process of feeling in my spirit that it was incorrect, that it could not be true, because in one converting and declaring their salvation, there is something called a sinner's prayer. And those people aren't praying in a prayer tongue, and God hears their prayers. And so that just bothered me, and I had to go on a journey to research. And when I went on the journey to research, a friend of mine sent me a book. Excuse me. He sent me a book that was amazing, and it was on the gifts of tongues. And as I read the book, and it was amazing because it was an ebook, and that was the first chapter that came over. And it wasn't in the first 5 chapters of the book, but that is what came up on my Kindle. And I thought that was amazing, so obviously this is what I'm supposed to be reading. And after I read it, I knew even more that what she had told me was not true. Okay, my point in sharing this: people will say things to you, people will tell you things to make you feel inferior to them. And this is even in church leadership. They will tell you things to make you feel inferior to them. But I beg to differ, because the word doesn't say that he has a respect of a person. Say that he doesn't. So whatever your gift is in you is just as important. Your anointing is just as important to him as the next person's anointing. And anointings come at a price. They are not free. But in an abusive relationship, this happens to be one of the ways this spirit happens to operate. Thank you for joining, Carl. How this spirit operates and manipulates you into thinking that you're not worthy, that no one else will ever want you, that you're ugly. And all of these things come back to them controlling you, because they've touched your heart and touched your spirit. So here's my point. As you grow spiritually and as you heal spiritually and come into knowing who you are after you made that conscious decision that you will not allow anyone else to abuse you, trust me, your spirit man is going to stand up and protect you. Your spirit man is going to speak loud to you if something is wrong with this picture. So if you have someone in leadership, and I'm talking about the church, and they are not supporting you, if they are not encouraging you, if they are not speaking life into what it is that you're trying to do for the kingdom, then there's a problem. And then you'll have this. One day you're okay to stand in a position to do something for them or operate in an office for them. And then the next day you're not. That's a contradiction. How is it that I was okay yesterday and today I'm not? Particularly when you needed that deadline to be taken care of. Remember that abusers want you to feel inferior to them. And you know why? Because they are insecure. They are the ones with the insecurities, not you. And you know why? They chose you because of your strengths. They chose you because of your good heart. They chose you because of your character. They chose you because they saw your talent and they saw your potential and they saw the possibilities. Please try to pay attention to those flags of lies, deceit, manipulation, and control. They are all there to try to make you feel unworthy. And that's not true. Not true at all. Because, you know what? You are enough. Just as you are. You are enough. So I'm not on long. I just wanted to get that out of me. It's been bothering me all day. And just laugh at those people who come at you and try to make you feel like you're less than they are. Just laugh at that spirit that's operating, because it's not you. It's their insecurities. So with that being said, thank you for joining me. Please visit our website at www.angelsindistress.org. If you'd like to have a victory workshop, reach out to me at victoryconsultants@gmail.com. That's VICTORYY, yes, 2 Y's, consultants@gmail.com. There's also a contact us page on the website. Also visit our Blog Talk Radio podcast. There, I'm sure, is a topic that would interest you and would bless you. And it is blogtalkradio.com/queen-warrior, or you can do blogtalkradio.com Angels in Distress, and the radio podcast will come up as well. Thank you for joining me, and just remember, and I it was funny because I saw Matumbo saying, no, 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 not in my house. Jezebel Spirit, no, 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 not in my house, because I know what you look like and I know where you're coming from.